Hey everyone, you might be wondering, like a lot of home buyers and sellers out there, what is the real estate market going to look like in 2024? The short version is, I think pretty good, at least compared to last year's. I have a lot of sellers that I'm working with who are getting their homes ready to go on the market after being super patient for a while, waiting for market conditions to improve, and we've had some pretty good price stability for a while. On the other side, I have a number of buyers who I'm working with who are eyeing the market, who are just enticed by finally having a little bit lower interest rates. If we look back on last year for the S&P 500, for example, the stock market was up 25% last year and NASDAQ was up 45%. Why is this important? Well, of course, as you can imagine, many people around here are heavily invested in the stock market, especially if they've been saving for a while and they have their down payment in the S&P or other funds. And that's a huge percentage of people's down payment. When the market goes up, naturally people are more optimistic. And if their RSUs are more valuable, if they work at a local tech company or biotech company, then that's going to contribute to increasing the velocity of the market. That's really important though, because hopefully that will unlock sellers who have been in their homes for a while, and because they feel like, okay, their portfolio is stronger, maybe they can get something because they know if they're downsizing, it's just going to be pricey. On the positive side for interest rates, the Fed says they're going to drop them up to 3 times this year. So we could go from a high last year of very close to 8%, hopefully down into the low 6s, maybe into the high 5s. Who knows? But just that they're dropping is certainly giving a little bit of a positive jolt to the market. Now let's talk about pricing. So on an annual basis, the median home price, at least for last year, was $1.8 million. And the projections from the California Association of Realtors this year is appreciation of 6.2%. So last year it was pretty flat. Like to see that it's going up this year. Obviously, if you're a buyer, that's less exciting, but it could mean, hey, if you see something good in Q1 or Q2, probably consider it. If you're a seller, that's the best news I could have delivered you in the last 18 months. Now, when we talk about the number of new listings that came on the market at least last year, that was the lowest in decades. And that was a huge reason why we had sales in San Mateo County that dropped to their lowest point in decades, which is pretty crazy when you think about that. When we think about what we're expecting this year, as I already mentioned, we're going to see interest rates drop. We're going to see a lot more homes come on the market. The California Association of Realtors is expecting a 22% an increase for inventory this year. I think we're going to see home prices come up a little bit. Could they come up more? What are my thoughts compared to the CAR forecast? I think that's probably safe to say, at least for the conversations that I've been having with people in January that I wasn't having a year ago. I think that we're going to see more places come in the market. And I think in terms of confidence, I think people feel a lot more confident in that this is going to be the year that people who have been on the sidelines for the last year or two, I think they're just going to end up transacting. And that kind of leads me to my next point. There's something called the 5 Ds, which is what leads people to transact. And that is diapers, diplomas, diamonds, divorce, and death. Hadn't heard all that until recently, but I think that's kind of what drives our local market. And then we have, of course, the stock market doing really well, so it's hard not to be optimistic. If you're a seller, I think we're going to start to see a lot more listings, like I said, coming on the market. And that's just because people who have been waiting or trying to time the market, if they're looking for something that's a little bit bigger, if they're looking for something that's a little bit smaller. I've had a few conversations in the last few weeks with people I chatted with in 2017 and 2018, who are now picking, I guess you could say, the ball back up and thinking about that this could be the year. So if I'm having those conversations, I'm sure many of my colleagues are also having those conversations, and that could lead to a lot more inventory. If you're a buyer, I think this year is going to be kind of competitive because there's going to be more homes that are coming to the market. At least it gives you more choice from a supply perspective. But I think a lot of buyers are going to feel a lot more confident given how the stock market has performed recently. And with interest rates just being lower, I think it's hard, not to be pretty optimistic from that. Why do I feel that optimism? Just in the first couple of weeks of this year, the number of prospective buyers like you, who I've been talking to, is much higher than it's been for the last few months. And compared to a year ago, I'm talking about double as many people as in the past. If you'd like to see inside 3 homes in different areas at different price points, in Burlingame in particular, take a look at this video. I've done a couple walking tour videos recently. But if you're just thinking about making a move in this market, I'd certainly love the opportunity to earn your business and have a conversation with you. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I'll see you on the next video.